Why is it like it feels um I feel like I'm shorter or something, or like I just feel like I'm sitting different. Okay, now we get away. I got hot sauce in my bag, swag. There's a train. I don't know what the hell is that? Right at light. Oh my god. What is that? That was one of those cars going down the track. I don't think she not. I know she didn't smash the lemons. Am I turning right here? Turning right here. Am I going? Going straight, right? But, yeah. 1 in the morning. I want to talk about domestic violence because shit is just getting out of hand. This is doing too much. This is doing too much. Yeah, I might just turn this off. I want to talk about. At the same time, it's just so sensitive. It just really hurts my heart because it goes on both lanes. There's regular heterosexual relationships, same-sex relationships. There, there's verbal, there's physical. You know, verbal and mental is like the same. I had a cousin that was recently, very recently, unalived by her partner, her boyfriend, and she's in her 30s. She's got 3 kids. And at that very moment, it's like people feel like can feel like their world is just over, and it's like, do you even really understand what it's like to be at rock bottom? That doesn't happen because somebody doesn't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. Hello. That doesn't happen. Sanj, I am him, Raji. Love you guys. Um, your life isn't going to be over, and people come into your life to teach you lessons about yourself, to teach you lessons about how the world is. There's so many broken people out there. And they usually find somebody else that's just as broken. And then they feel like they can now heal. But what they do is they end up sparking their trauma. You know, they just bounce off of each other. And then they find it, or they feel that it's normal. you know. And it's not. You know, people gaslight you. And I've learned about that to where it's like they'll bring up whether your past incidences, situations that you might have told them about, or just something that's happened between you two that they have heard that is supposed to be water on the bridge and washed up, but when it's convenient, they'll bring it up, and then that usually causes arguments, and arguments lots of times can lead into some real physical, hostile moments. You know, slap, punch, stab. I just read recently an article of another woman. She was, trying to break up with her boyfriend. He wasn't having it. He didn't like the idea. He's mad at her. She attempts to leave the situation and get an Uber, Lyft Uber. He comes to pick her up. The boyfriend then goes and gets a gun and starts shooting at the vehicle, and it hits the girl. Doesn't hit the driver. The driver sees she's hit, rushes her to the hospital. She doesn't make it. You know. And then the dude realizes, oh look what I've done. Oh look what I've done now. And it's all this like look what I've done. Like you get to give your girl whomever a black eye. Oh look what I've said to you. Now I feel awful. Look what you made me do. That's the good old look what you made me do. I understand what that's like, where you feel like, hey, I don't want to go through this pain of departing from somebody, because just as much as they might hurt you physically or mentally, bash you, you'll find that but you're linked to that trauma bonding that you guys have with each other, which that is the most unhealthiest thing. And you stick with someone who really only has their best interest. They're it's like you have to set boundaries for yourself. You have to have people accountable. I'm not saying that it has to be some things, it's like just as much as they might have really hurt you bad, but I'm not supposed to go that way because this freeway is closed down. Does it know that? Somebody has to really show remorse to you, and be forgiven. People tend to forgive people just because they said, hey, I'm sorry I did that. With no real genuine remorse behind it. Like, hey, I'm sorry about that. You know how I get sometimes. People will be with people that they have a serious alcohol problem, or just any kind of problem where it causes let me over. All that damn room over there. So let me then this dude. Oh wow. Okay. Calm down here, cause people don't drive. It's not any people on the lane for everybody just be hogging up one lane, especially the lane that's emergent. Like what the heck? Okay, so back to The heck is it? Not easy to trap. But anyway, just back to, you got a young woman that these kids are gonna know. I don't know if he's the dad of all three, but at least one. And it's like to know like what their dad did to their mom. I mean to literally shoot somebody, you unalive them because they don't want to be with you anymore. What the fuck kind of sense does that really make? Huh? You got people who will take that. I'm gonna say you did this and that just to get back at you. Ah, crazy. I think this is too sensitive a subject.